Alrighty, so the New York Knicks have lost to the Miami Heat 127 to 120. I mean, we can go so many places with this game. Great games out of some players from the Knicks, but the Miami Heat just got to the line tonight, and the rest were pretty much calling everything on the New York Knicks. Guess we'll make wait for more people to come in here, but tough loss for the Knicks. They have now lost two straight games. They have a back-to-back against the Orlando Magic. So it's, the Heat are now 2 games behind the New York Knicks. So it's let me just wait for more people to come in here before. Hold on, let me tweet that we're live right now, so we can get some more people in here. Big Task, always one of the first people in here, man. What's up, man? Tough loss for the New York Knicks, brother. Tough loss, back to back losses now. This is why these games against the Minnesota Timberwolves at home they're very important, right? This is why you got to take care of business in Madison Square Garden, because Miami Heat. I mean, say what you want about their schedule, they're in their play-in tournament right now, but I don't want to see the Miami Heat in the playoffs. I don't want to see the Toronto Raptors in the playoffs. These teams just give the Knicks problems. And the Knicks have another crucial matchup against them next week. Right now we're still in the fifth seed, so nothing too concerned right now. But look, Heat are 2 games back. Things can change in a blink of an eye in the NBA. Things can change in the blink of an eye. Knicks, these next 2 games versus the Orlando Magic and the Houston Rockets, they're big. They're going to be big. Just tweeting on the main account that we're live right now. A lot to get into, man. I don't know if you guys. I mean, I guess. Thanks for Heat post game. D guys, man, what's going on? What is going on? Defense must be prioritized. Like Degon said in the chat, defense must be prioritized. Look, these past couple of nights, man, look, the Minnesota Timberwolves shot an ungodly amount of threes. They made an ungodly amount of threes. Taurean Prince had the game of his life, and it was just unfortunate that it came against the New York Knicks. But tonight, what did the Miami Heat shoot tonight as a team? What did they shoot? I know Tyler Hero got going there in the end. 16 to 28 from 3. So, the Heat shot well. And, there was a play there at the end of the game which pissed me off. It should have been a 5-second violation on them, but the referees just didn't call it. I don't know if you guys saw the play, but I tweeted it on my main account, the Knicks Nation, at Knicks Nation. You literally see the referee just slowing up his count. You know how the referees do the count on the sidelines? You literally see the referee just slowing up his count like this. Bro, just call the 5-second violation. Like, I don't know. Some questionable calls there at the end of the game. I don't want to keep harping on the referees all season, but tonight was really noticeable. Really noticeable. Especially there in the fourth quarter. It was noticeable. Look, Heat are a tough team. Don't get me wrong. But Knicks had some great contributions tonight, especially from Quentin Grimes. And Quentin Grimes tonight was a baller. Hold on, let me go through the box score really quick with you guys, so you guys can see it. All right, so Knicks lost 127 to 120. If we look at this box score, Quentin Grimes, he didn't get in the game until like late in the fourth quarter. I wish he got in the game earlier in the fourth quarter, to be honest. But the Knicks team, what was the lineup entering the fourth quarter? I wrote it down. It was Quickly, Josh Hart, Barrett, then it was Obi, then it was Hartenstein. Knicks took the lead there in the fourth quarter. Knicks took the lead. That lineup was rolling. And then Julius came in the game. Brunson came in the game. Heat hit some tough threes. They hit some tough shots. And, timely shots too all night long. Miami Heat were just taking timely shots all night long. But Heat hit some timely shots. But look, Quentin Grimes, 22 points in only 26 minutes. This is probably the most efficient game from Quentin Grimes in his young career thus far. 7-12 from the field, 6-10 from three, 22 points from Grimes. Shout out to Quentin Grimes. Played his butt off, man. RJ Barrett, man. Efficient night from RJ Barrett. Bounce back night, 26 points, 8-13. Again, like in the Minnesota games, the Knicks shot the ball well. 51% from the field, 40% from three, 80% from the line, which you love to see. Knicks are not a great free throw shooting team, but some uncharacteristic things from the New York Knicks tonight. Turnovers. They had 16 turnovers as a team. 16 turnovers as a team. The New York Knicks are one of the best teams in the NBA in terms of not turning the ball over, and 16 turnovers. Most of that had to do with these damn offensive fouls in the fourth quarter that were being called on them. I mean, you know, Isaiah Hartenstein got caught with a BS offensive foul that the referees called on him. Who else was it? Julius Randle got called for offensive foul. A lot of offensive foul being called on the Knicks, but 16 turnovers, uncharacteristic for the New York Knicks. 25 personal fouls for them compared to 18 from the Miami Heat. 25 to 18 personal fouls. Yeah. Julius Randle, not a great game out of him, and he was, you know, pretty much he was all over the place tonight. And Eric Spoelstra, I mean, he at one point I think he called him crazy. Randle got into it, but the ref picked up his 10th technical foul of this season. So I believe 6 more and he gets suspended. But, you know, the game, we have, 7 games left? It's not going to happen. Manu Quickly missed a lot of open shots tonight. Quickly was open pretty much like a lot of times tonight, and he was just missing, man. Just one of those games from IQ, 5 points, 1-8 from the field. Then, you know, Hartenstein with some solid minutes. It didn't show in the box score, but, I mean, it is what it is. Mr. Robinson got banged up tonight quite a bit, got kneed in his shin. 10 points, 8 rebounds from Mitchell Robinson. Julius Randle didn't play well tonight at all. 15 points, 7-16 from the field. 1-5 from the three. Coming off that hell of a performance from the Minnesota game, Randle pretty much was non-existent tonight. Brunson, 25 points. And, you know, the guy in the Miami Heat who killed us tonight was obviously Jimmy Butler. Got to the line 14 times. And I wrote it down here. Jimmy Butler, this is the 5th consecutive game Jimmy Butler has taken 10 or more free throws. 5th consecutive game Jimmy Butler has taken 10 or more free throws. Look, hate him or love him. I hated it tonight. The referees call it. He gets to the line at will. Against every team in the NBA, this is what he does. This is what Jimmy Butler does. He tricks you. He's very crafty down low. 5th consecutive game, he has gotten 10 or more free throws. And I believe that was the 22nd time this season that he has taken 10 or more free throws in a game. So Butler, 11 of 14 from the line, 35 points, killed the Knicks all night long. Tyler Herro also, you know, when the Knicks took the lead in that fourth quarter, Herro hit some really timely threes, 4-7 from threes. Herro didn't do anything in the first half. And then fourth quarter, Herro was, you know, balling out, man. Tyler Herro hit some timely shots for the Miami Heat, but yeah, big task that he called. There's a video that I tweeted that the Eric Spoelstra looks like allegedly he calls Julius Randle crazy. Check it out on my Knicks Nation account, but that's what I think that he says. Tyler, man, what's going on? Yeah, it was rough, man. Like I said earlier, man, this is the 5th consecutive game. Jimmy Butler has taken 10 or more free throws. He was tricking the Knicks all night long. Referees were calling it. He got to the line 26 times. Knicks got to the line 25 times. But the New York Knicks were called for 25 personal fouls compared to the Miami Heat's 18. They were timely foul calls, man. There was a foul call on Isaiah Hartenstein, an offensive foul call where Kevin Love literally wraps his hand around Isaiah Hartenstein's body. Jalen Brunson hits a corner three. They call an offensive foul on Isaiah Hartenstein. BS. Julius Randle drives in the lane on Jimmy Butler. BS. There was an offensive foul called on, I think it was Isaiah Hartenstein too, who quote unquote tripped Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry all of a sudden wants to bring back the clock, right? 14 point. Where did this come from? 14 points out of Kyle Lowry. all of a sudden just wants to ball out against the Knicks. But Lowry, there was an offensive foul called on Hartenstein when Lowry, quote unquote, tripped. They called it back. So a lot of timely calls against the New York Knicks tonight. They got called for 25 foul calls. And yeah, I mean, they shot the ball well. 51% from the field, 40% from three. Quentin Grimes balled out tonight. Probably his most efficient night in a while. Probably in his young career. 7 of 12 from the field. Wanted to see Quentin Grimes get in the basketball game though early on in the fourth quarter. But the lineup of Quickly, Hart, Barrett, Obi, and Hartenstein really got the Knicks back in the game. They took the lead in the fourth quarter. Miami Heat had some timely shots, some foul calls that were questionable. I mean, I'll just say that, and that's pretty much all she wrote, man. I mean, that's pretty much Heat are now 2 games behind the New York Knicks. 2 games behind the New York Knicks, so watch out, man. Yeah, so wow, that's crazy. To the start of the fourth, the Knicks had 16 foul calls against them, and the Heat had 15. So the Knicks almost had 10 foul calls against them in the fourth quarter. Wild. It was fourth quarter was definitely lopsided, and that quote unquote 5-second violation that should have been a 5-second violation on the Miami Heat, which was absurd and wild. The referee literally slows down his count as he's counting. He's just slowing down his count. I mean, if you're the league office and you see that, how can you not make a phone call and be like you're caught red-handed here? You're caught red-handed. Look, the Knicks were down 5 with 42 seconds left. Call a 5-second violation there. They get the ball back. They hit a 3 with, let's say, 32 seconds left. It's a 2-point game. I mean, but hey, man, tough loss against the Miami Heat. I mean, we can go so many places with this, but bottom line is the Knicks have now lost 2 in a row, and you have games versus Orlando Magic coming up, must win. You have games versus the Houston Rockets coming up, must win. The Miami Heat right now are on your ass right now. They are on your tail. Take a look at the standings right now. Let me just. Yeah. So, yeah. Right now, the New York Knicks are still in the 5th seed, where I think they will finish overall. They are, 5th seed. They are 2 games ahead of the Brooklyn Nets, and the Miami Heat are now on Brooklyn's ass. They're 2 games behind the New York Knicks. Next week's games versus Miami Heat is very crucial. Very crucial. You have a game coming up, another game coming up versus Miami Heat. Very crucial, man. These are, crunch time here. Got to win these games, man. Solidify yourself in the top 6. Keep the top 5 position, and you should be good. Did you talk about Jimmy grabbing Mitch early in the second half? No, I did not. There's also a video going on. Good call, Tyler. There's also a video going around where Jimmy Butler is complaining to the ref, and you see him grabbing Mitchell Robinson's leg, preventing Mitchell Robinson from running down the court. That was also BS. How you can get away with that is absurd. I'm pretty sure they'll get a call from the league office about that. But, when you compile that with the fact that Jimmy Butler also gets every foul call called against him, it seems like 5th consecutive game where Jimmy Butler shot 10 or more free throws. So, this is not, a new thing for him. This is what he does. Jimmy Butler gets to the line. He shoots his free throws. They're a good flopping team. I wouldn't say they're a flopping team. They're not floppers. They're just good at drawing contact. They're good. Yeah, man. Ref stares as it's happening. Well, it's a frustrating game, Tyler. I mean, all around frustrating game, especially on the Knicks side. Fourth quarter, it was lopsided. You can't tell me otherwise. Had some people on Twitter saying that it wasn't lopsided. The referees were actually calling a great game. Look, they have a tough job. I get it. Back-to-back games where you can say that they missed a ticky-tack foul call here and there. But, they got to clean this up, man. Playoffs are coming soon, man. We don't want to see any of this. I don't want a playoff game being defined by a zebra. I don't. I do not want a playoff game being decided by a zebra. Please. Clean it up. Clean it up, man. It's frustrating. Could you imagine if a playoff game gets decided by one of these guys? And then the next day, the 2-minute report comes out, and what good is that? Look, I get it. They have a tough job, and they miss calls on both sides. But the fourth quarter was extremely lopsided. So, guys, but these next games against the Magic and the Rockets are must-wins. Yeah, Tyler, I don't like to blame the referees either, but tonight it was a rough one to watch tonight, especially there in the fourth quarter, man. And the Knicks took the lead there. You were like, okay, they're coming back. He got up by as much as 9. I thought it was like one of those nights where I'm like, okay. And it wound up being one of those nights where, the Knicks lost, but the Knicks persevered like they did all season long. They came back, took the lead. The unit of Quickly, Hart, Barrett got going there, hit some good shots. Obi, Hardenstein, Josh Hart again. But Quickly really hurt you tonight in the second unit. He didn't shoot the ball well, had some open looks. A couple of those threes goes down. We're probably talking about a different game here. But that lineup was working, and Quickly was, running the show. I think Josh Hart was actually playing some point guard there. But you also had a lineup of Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and Quentin Grimes, which was interesting. That's when RJ Barrett came out the game, got some rest. But Barrett with a great game. Grimes with a great game. Brunson with a great game. Randall, not a great game from him, man. All over the place and arguing with the referees. And you just hope that he snaps out of it, because the Knicks have these look, we're in the top. Right now we're for the 5th seed, right? But the Miami Heat are now 2 games back, man. Let's say the next week comes around and the New York Knicks the Miami Heat are 1 game behind the New York Knicks, and they go into Madison Square Garden and beat the New York Knicks. This is why these next 2 games are crucial, man. Take care of business, beat the teams you're supposed to beat. I know the Orlando Magic are playing well this season, and I know they're like a tough, gritty, young team. But look, New York Knicks are better. Go to Orlando, beat them. Come home to Houston. Take care of business at Houston. I don't want to see any of these lapses anymore. Like what happened with Minnesota. Like what happened with the Charlotte Hornets. 2 unexcusable losses for the New York Knicks. That just cannot happen. Just can't happen, man. I believe another stat that I wrote down: 5 offensive fouls for the New York Knicks in the second half. 5 offensive fouls called on them in the second half. I have this written down on my notes. I thought it was a lopsided affair with the referees. Grimes was out quite a bit to start the fourth quarter, came back and was just on fuego. Quentin Grimes, great game out of Quentin Grimes, man. I hope this is what we want to see. This is what I want to see more out of Quentin Grimes. Like last game, sometimes he attempts like 2 shots a game, and then tonight, how many shots did he attempt tonight? Tonight he has a blow up game. But this is what I want to see out of Grimes. I know he's capable of doing it. And look, if he can continue to doing this, he could be the X factor in the playoffs. He really can. 12 shots attempted tonight, 7 of 12 from the field. Really efficient night for Grimes. Hopefully he can build on this and grow on this. D-Gon's in the chat. They need to stop hedging and play their man tight. They're giving the shooters way too much space. Yeah, the Heat did hit a lot of tough contested shots tonight, especially Tyler Hero. And look, Heat shot 57% from 3. Back-to-back games now where the opponent is shooting lights out against you from 3. 3-point defense has been kind of non-existent for the Knicks. But you compile that with the fact that the opponents, they're hitting tough shots, man. Timberwolves were hitting tough shots. And tonight, Hero hit tough shots. Vincent hit a tough shot there in the fourth. So, and then you had the resurrection of Kyle Lowry off the bench, 14 points. Strus off the bench, 3 of 4 from 3. Lowry, 2 of 4. 16 of 28 from three from the Miami Heat as a team. Like I said, 57%. Wild. Just put this in perspective. The Knicks attempted 12 more threes than the Miami Heat. And they made the same amount of shots from downtown. 16 of 40 from the Knicks, 16 of 28 from the Miami Heat. So Heat shot 57% from the field. When you compile that with Jimmy Butler getting every single call, and, credit to Butler, man. He knows what he's doing. He's a professional. He's a veteran in this league. 14 free throw attempts. Slowed the game down a lot. 35 piece with Jimmy Butler. You compile that with the 57% from threes. Look, defense has to get better here. I'm not making any excuses from the New York Knicks, but these back-to-back games now where the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Heat have shot extremely well from three, the three-point defense has to get better. No excuses, man. You cannot have this, you cannot have this going on throughout the playoffs, man. You have to, end the season strong and finish the season strong. Finish the season with some positive vibes. And, I think we will do that. We have 2 winnable games here coming up. I think we have a game tomorrow against the Miami Heat. Yeah, back-to-back against the Miami Heat tomorrow. Big game, man. Must win. Must win, right? Am I crazy calling out a must win? Am I crazy calling the Orlando Magic game a must win? I don't know. You guys tell me. But I just, I'm getting uncomfortable looking at the standings. Like, the Miami Heat are just right there. The Nets are still right there. I'm just getting a little bit uncomfortable looking at the standings, and I just want the 5th seed to be locked in. So that this game against the Magic and this game against the Houston Rockets for the New York Knicks are huge. Huge. And then you go into the Miami game next Wednesday. Big game. Big game, man. Tyler in the chat said the Heat played their best game and had the officials on their side, and the Knicks were still in the game in crunch time. Yeah, I agree. The Knicks were still, take all that into consideration, the Knicks were still in the game in the crunch time, and it's just the Miami Heat, they're starting to play well. They are. I think I heard it on the broadcast. They're great. They're 25-13 at home. They're unbelievable at home. I want to look at their schedule here. Miami Heat schedule. Brooklyn goes to Miami, and then they're at Toronto, at New York versus Dallas, at Detroit, at Philly, at Washington. So pretty tough schedule for the Miami Heat. But take care of your business, New York. Take care of your business, man. Win these next 2 games. Give yourself some breathing room so we can all breathe. Take a nice deep breath, relax, be like, okay, we're the 5th seed. 4th seed is looking out of reach right now. I was hoping the March 31st game versus the Cleveland Cavaliers was going to be, it's going to be a test before the real thing, because I do think that's your first round matchup. It's going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the New York Knicks. I wanted home court advantage, but I said on one of the podcasts, like, it doesn't matter. The Knicks are a great road team. So, give Cleveland a home court advantage. That extra game will be in Cleveland. So, it stinks that it's not going to be in MSG, but right now, just take care of business, win these next 2 games, and please, that's it. That's all I want. And I'm sure that's all you guys want too. Tyler in the chat says the Knicks have played well enough to win these last 2 games, but they lost, and it happens, man. Yeah, it is. That's the NBA, right? It is what it is, bro. Sometimes that's what happens, man. They scored a hell of a lot of points in these last 2 games. You score 120 points tonight. Should have won. And then what do they score against the Minnesota Timberwolves? Like 130? I'm trying to pull it up right now. Yeah, 134 versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, 120 tonight. 116 versus the Nuggets. The thing is that the games against the Lakers, the Blazers, the Nuggets, their defense was, okay. And it's just that you have these 2 blow-up games versus the Timberwolves, the Miami Heat. They're shooting the lights out. So it just stinks that, 3-game winning streak turns into back to a 2-game losing streak. But The beauty of the NBA is that you have a quick turnaround the day after. They go to Orlando tonight. Pretty sure I don't know if they're flying up there. Whatever. Go to Orlando, reset your mind, reset your body, quick turnaround tomorrow. Win the game in Orlando. Simple. Just win in Orlando, come home, win against the Houston Rockets, and then we're cooking. But, yeah, man, big task. The Knicks are a really good road team. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, the New York Knicks have shown all season long they can go into an opponent's arena and beat them. They're a great road team. They're one of the top road teams in the NBA. Not too concerned about that. Yes, would you have liked to have home court advantage in the first round? Yes. But what you want to do right now is just solidify yourself in the top 6. Heat are 2 games back. Come on. Solidify yourself. I do think they're still going to be in the top 6 because you have the Nets in there. The Nets will probably fall back. So it's either if they finish 5 or 6, if the Heat start to get hot here and something just happens dramatically with the New York Knicks, I still think we're going to wind up in the top 6. But would you rather play Cleveland? It's just matchups, right? Would you rather play Cleveland, or if you're the 6th seed right now, who would you play? I know a lot of Knicks fans don't mind playing Boston. But if you're the 6th seed right now, you would play the Philadelphia 76ers. And the way the Sixers are playing, I don't like that. So, yeah, just worry about the 5th seed. Worry about the rest of the stuff later on. And that's it, man. Just one of those games, guys. Back-to-back tough losses. Heat shot the lights out. Referees. Wow, the Cavs are 29-8 at home. I did not know that, Tyler. Wow. But hey, man, Cavs are great at home. We're great on the road. Something has to give, right? Something has to give. Something has to give, man. But no defense. No defense tonight. He hit some timely shots. Referees close their eyes on a lot of occasions. Got a game tomorrow versus the Orlando Magic. Got to win. And pretty much must win. Got to win. These next 2 games are really important for the New York Knicks. No excuses whatsoever. I keep watching this video of how the referees slow up his counting, and it's wild. It's absolutely wild. Like, the referee literally slows up his count. I mean, I don't want to make excuses, but I mean, I keep watching this video of the 5-second violation that should have been called and wasn't. So, yeah. Tough loss, guys. Tough loss. Quick turnaround. Got to get the game versus Orlando Magic. Got to, man. No excuses. Orlando Magic coming up. Houston Rockets coming up. 2 big games. I don't care if you think I'm crazy about calling these big games, but they're big games, man. They're big games. Cam, man, what's popping? What's popping? Salute to you, man. Salute to you always, man. Always appreciate you in the chat, hopping on and chatting, man. We got to get back on track. I think Randall needs a game or 2 off, and McBride needs some minutes. Deuce McBride, right? I think he got in there for like 10 seconds to end the first half. But, yeah, Randall's looking like, you say Randall needs a day off, but he dropped freaking 57 points last game. It was going bananas. But tonight he was like, he didn't have a great game tonight. But, you know, I think when if the New York Knicks clinch the 5th seed or the 6th seed, I think it is wise of them to sit Randall and Brunson, because Randall, yes, I agree with you. Randall does seem like he needs some time off. So if you clinch, I know Tom Thibodeau's not going to do this, though. If you were to ask me if the New York Knicks clinch the 5th seed and they have 2 games left in the season, do you think Julius Randle is going to play? I would not play him, but I know Tom Thibodeau probably will. And do I agree with that? Not really. But yeah, like you said, man, I think Randall needs some time off, and Brunson especially, man. You don't want Brunson hobbling into a playoff series versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. So what you want to do right now, if you're a New York Knicks, is you want to beat the Orlando Magic, you want to beat the Houston Rockets coming up, and then if you can get the game versus the Miami Heat at home, that, in my opinion, will pretty much lock them in the 5th seed. If they reel off 3 straight wins here, it'll pretty much lock them in the 5th seed. So you want to get those games, then we can worry about getting some time off. I mean, it's not just Randall. Robinson, Mitchell Robinson needs some time off. Brunson probably needs some time off. You know, give some guys a breather. You don't want to be fatigued going into a playoff series because I'm sure the Cleveland Cavaliers will rest their guys. I'm sure of it. The Cavs have the 4th seed locked up. I'm pretty 99% sure that Donovan Mitchell is probably going to be shut down for like 2 games or whatnot. But yeah. Cam in the chat, at this rate, they won't clinch till the last game of the season. Dibs ain't sitting Randall, sadly. Yeah, I mean, you know, I can see them clinching. If they reel off three wins here, if they reel off Houston, Orlando, and then they beat Miami at home, I see them clinching if they do that. I'm not sure what the magic numbers are. Pretty sure I can look that up for you. But if they reel off three wins in their next coming games, I'm like 95% sure they can lock up a top 6 seed, and they're probably going to stay in the 5th seed. But yeah, Thibs ain't sitting Randall, sadly. Yeah, look, if it depends, man. If they're playing, if they're still playing for something later on in the season, I get it. But if they have the top 6 locked up, yeah, you don't want the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round. Right now, that's who you would get if you were to fall back to the 6th seed. But yeah, man, if the Knicks have the 5th seed locked up, rest everybody, bro. Rest everybody. I don't care about. I'm pretty sure Julius Randle just wants to play every single game to say that he played 82 games in 2022-2023 season. I'm sure he just wants that on his resume. Like, I played every single game in that season. And Randle's been a warrior, man. Props to him. Randle's been a tremendous warrior. The best ability is availability, right? And what has Julius Randle been all season long? Available. The best ability is availability, and Randle has surely been available for the Knicks all season long. He's been a warrior, man. Yeah, D-Gons. I mean, that's what I would want. I would want the Knicks to clinch something. Then I would want Obi to step in there and play. That's when we would probably see Obi Toppin play like 35 minutes a game. But it'll be cool, man, if that can happen. If the Knicks, like the last game or two of the season, and the Knicks clinch the 5th seed and they rest Brunson, Randall, it'll be cool seeing Deuce get in there and Obi getting in there, and just, you know, the vibes will be high. The vibes will be exciting. Going into a playoff series versus Cleveland, more likely. It's looking more and more likely that that's the case. But worry about that when the time comes, man. Win these next 2 games. Worry about the Miami Heat next week. He showed you tonight they're a tough team, so they're a tough out. They're a tough out, man. I mean, it is what it is, brother. Cam in the chat, I'm with you. I'm with you there. Rest everybody. Play Jericho, Deuce, the Frenchman too. Give Evan Fournier some burn, man. Give him some burn, right? Cam says that's why Randall was my MVP this year. His numbers every game this year, no comparison in my opinion. The other front runners have all had plenty of games off. Yeah, Brian. Julius Randle's been a warrior for the New York Knicks. The best ability is availability. He hasn't missed a game this season. I'm sure he's like tired as heck, worn out. I'm pretty sure tomorrow he's going to be tired. Back-to-back games are tough. But, you know, we only have, 6 games left? 7 games left here. So season's dwindling down. Got to lock up the 5th seed. And got to get back to it tomorrow, man. Got to get back to it tomorrow. But, guys, appreciate you all in the chat. I will be back tomorrow. Knicks have to win these games against the Orlando Magic and the Houston Rockets. I will be back tomorrow doing another post game. Appreciate you all in the chat tuning in as always. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow, guys. Peace. Let's go, Knicks.